What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday, and welcome back into the Ryan Ripken Show. And we got a jam-packed show for you guys today, this evening. I guess it's late afternoon. But let's talk about it. The Orioles and Twins are playing. We'll have updates from Game 1 of the doubleheader. But every Wednesday, we're cooking it up with Kyle here in the Iron Rooster. And Kyle, what are we working on today?
I'm excited for Beria. You guys excited for Beria?
Damn right.
It's a good day when you got Beria in studio. So we're gonna do some Beria tacos.
There we go.
And we're gonna try a Beria ramen. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I'm in.
Ooh, I heard the reaction from the crowd. Yeah, Beria ramen, Beria tacos. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So as soon as you're ready, come on over and we'll slap this on the griddle.
Good. I will be right over there when we go through the rest of the lineup. So now you know what's cooking today in the studio. There's a little bit of news here, both on the football side, baseball side. Football side, Derrick Henry just signed an extension with the Baltimore Ravens. Largest contract for a running back, over 30. We'll get into that and more. We are going to have Dr. Yoni Rosenblatt of True Sports Physical Therapy is going to join us 2:45 to break down a set of injuries. Our Darius Washington lost, it seems like, for a majority, if not all of the season, with an Achilles tear. And then there's news out of Baltimore with the Orioles that Jordan Westburg has a hamstring setback. What it all means, well, Dr. Yoni can break it down for us at the next hour, 3:15. Chris Rose is going to join us, a part of John Boy Media, and obviously you've seen him on NFL Network. He's covering both MLB and NFL, but we're going to go around Major League Baseball with him, talk about the recent news with Pete Rose, what it means for other players that are in this kind of uncharted territory or I guess, questionable era, because baseball has had a lot of different situations over the year, one of those being the steroid era. So I'd love to hear the curiosity now that one thing has been unturned here with Pete Rose. And then, oh gosh, what else are we getting into? Well, I think I'll think of that last thing. I just had it on the tip of my tongue, and we'll get, oh yeah, the schedule comes out tonight. Whammy. Apparently there's some leaks in the NFL.
Always.
There always are some leaks.
More leaks than a leaky faucet.
Is that what we're going with? We got a full studio here. So Zach Bollinger's here. If you can't see him, you can hear him.
There I am, coming in with the bang. What a joke to just start off the show. Leakier than a leaky faucet.
We need the drum. Brad, do we have a drum?
We do actually.
Thank you.
We actually do.
So
We got Brad, and then we got intern Sam hanging out.
We'll see if it works. So far, the camera is kind of working. It's not.
It's frozen.
We're having some technical difficulties, but it is what it is.
Intern Sam is my favorite, by the way.
Intern Sam?
I like Intern Sam. Yeah.
Hey, intern Sam might be controlling the sticks tomorrow for the show.
Well,
Yeah, you get to experience all the gremlins that happen during a show.
Yeah.
Hey, you wanted to learn more about how the intricacies go with technology. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Fix the roadcaster, Sam.
That's right. That's right.
Guess what? It goes south fast.
It certainly does.
Just wait till we're mid show and suddenly the Wi-Fi cuts out. You'll see.
Yes.
And then everybody
Thinking
panic.
on your toes.
Everybody panic. But let's try not to panic here for a moment. We're going to switch it up. But right now at the moment, Orioles trail the Twins 4-3 in the top of the 8th. The Birds were up 3-0 until a 4-run fourth inning for Minnesota, which was the result of 2 home runs. One of them solo shot and a 2-out 3-run jack by Christian Vasquez off of our guy Dino. Hopefully the Orioles can make a comeback. If they don't, I'm sure everyone will react very calmly and peacefully as the Orioles then would drop to 10 games under 500. But we'll see. Top of the 8th. See if the Birds can have a little comeback in them. In the meantime, though, we're going to make a little quick switcheroo as we begin the conversation. Hey, guys, Derrick Henry is signed back with the Baltimore Ravens. And as I move and groove, Zach, why don't you break down what the contract details are, and we can look more into that. Oh, yeah, you need a mic. Come on over here, buddy. I forgot. You're micless. Not even wearing a belt. Beltless. What movie? Okay. I used to have a friend named Zach. Not anymore.
Is Zach not a movie guy?
Zach.
So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Kevin gets a lot of shit on the show for not knowing any references. Are you good? And it takes a lot of heat off me because Kevin gets asked everything and I get asked nothing. And I'm also in the exact same boat as him. So really,
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So
It's Wedding Crashers,
Yeah,
bro.
Derrick.
It's Wedding Crashers. I mean,
Derrick,
look, even if you like get stuck on something, it's one of 3 movies.
that's true.
It's
You know.
Dodgeball. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good catch.
It's Dodgeball, Wedding Crashers, or Austin Powers.
I know.
Literally,
Usually I get Wedding Crashers.
You get a 1 in 3 shot at it, really.
Yeah, I try to make it easy for you guys. I really do. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're good.
After
So
all
Derrick
those
Henry.
So Derrick Henry.
acrobats.
So
Glad I could talk about Derrick Henry while we got that seamless transition.
hey,
going.
you know
Yeah.
what? No one noticed a thing. Smooth. That's what it was. But overall here, when we're looking at this contract extension, right? We knew that this was going to happen for the Baltimore Ravens. Didn't know how much it was going to be. But after Saquon got paid, and you already have the contract of Christian McCaffrey that's on the books, and the reason why I bring that up, McCaffrey, Saquon, 2 of the best running backs, both now getting a little bit up there for ages of running backs. But Zach, 2 years, $30 million, $25 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Hey, it's well worth it. He's earned it, deserved it, but you don't see contracts being given out to 30-year-old backs as much. But King Henry ain't like any other 30-year-old back.
Yeah, and I think it was Ian Rappaport who put it out that the Ravens wanted Derrick Henry to retire in Baltimore. And this pretty much guarantees it with the 2-year extension. Very well worth it. $25 million guaranteed over 2 years. Listen, I think there was that kind of, I don't want to say hesitancy, but there was. Before last season, obviously, Derrick Henry was with the Titans, not really the big name. They weren't really all over television like we saw Derrick last season. There were some thoughts of, okay, it's like a 30-year-old running back. How big of an impact can he truly make in Baltimore? I don't think anyone truly understood in the moment how important Derrick was going to be to the Ravens offense and how he was able to take them to that second level. Obviously, just being able to hand it off, impacting the linebackers, then plus adding it with, Lamar Jackson, the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time. It was a match made in heaven. This was something that we had hoped to see for years. We had been talking about this kind of dream matchup. So last year, it was a match made in heaven. It went seamlessly. It was perfect. They want to win a championship together. I think Derrick Henry in the backfield gives the Ravens the best chance to win a championship in the next 2 years. So they get it done. Derrick Henry hopefully retires a Raven.
We all hope so,
Yeah.
right? And you hope that takes to the finish line. You hope that takes the Ravens to where they want to go, the Super Bowl. And that's their identity. Their identity is they want to run the ball. They want to be dominant. They want to be a force, wear you down later in the game. Obviously, be dynamic. That fits the mold for everything that Derrick Henry can bring to the table. So I'm excited. I'm happy he's back. And I look forward to seeing some more ridiculous offseason workout videos, just like you guys are looking forward to my tremendous cooking skills right here as we wait for Dr. Yoni to join us here in a few minutes. But what do you need from me right now?
All right, here we go.
I don't have an apron, by the
It's
way.
okay. We're going to go apronless.
Oh, wow.
What do you know about Birria? Anything?
I you know what? I don't.
Okay. Well, good.
I just
We're
know the
gonna teach some
word.
people, yeah. So become super popular over the last several years. Birria, right out of Mexico. It's a different kind of taco. You're basically going to cook the tortilla. It's a corn tortilla cooked in fat. So that's what that red color is that we're getting, and we're going to add. I'll go ahead and add just a little bit of onion to each of the middle.
Do you want me to add the
Do
onion?
it. Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. Go a little bit of onion, and then we're going to go with some cilantro, which is right there in the green stuff.
Is this enough onion? Do you guys want more onion?
Well, we'll add some at the end too. They'll be able to get there.
Okay, cool.
So that's just kind of to start, and then we'll go cilantro, just about the same amount of cilantro.
If you guys get your notebook out, Sam, second day on the job here.
Yeah, write this down, Sam.
Write it down.
Anybody here one of those folks that like have that genetic whatever
For
about-
cilantro?
yeah. The soap,
Yeah.
the soap tasting cilantro.
I know a few people. My girlfriend has it.
Really?
That's a
yeah.
thing?
That is
Very
apparently-
unfortunate.
I
think
love
Kevin's one
cilantro.
of those.
He's-
Kevin's
he
gotta
would-
be.
I
Yeah,
would
we'll
put
go
so
mozzarella.
much money on Kevin having that. It's unreal.
Yeah.
You want to do kind of just right there over. Give it enough of it that you can get that cheesiness, and we'll add a little bit of mozzarella too.
So I'm adding a little bit more cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll add some cheese at the end, and then I'm gonna finish it off with brisket. So we got brisket cooked down.
Hell yeah.
Brisket's awesome, right? And I think some people are intimidated by brisket. Brisket is one of those things. It's just low and slow. You cook it for 3 or 4 hours. You don't need a smoker, and it's the best. I mean, brisket is just the best. So we're gonna add brisket right here in the middle, right, and then your spatula skills are gonna come up here in just a second.
That's scary.
We saw that. Hey,
actually, it was pretty good.
Last week wasn't bad.
It was the best of the few weeks.
Yeah.
First day I did the spatula.
Yeah. Kevin's going to be so confused why I just randomly text him, do you like cilantro? But I have to know if he's one of those people.
You've got your spatula there. So we're gonna flip this halfway so you got yourself a taco.
So I got to go halfway here.
And you can use your hands. Yep. You just want to get it almost like a quesadilla and then just press it down. Perfect.
Wow.
Yep. And then just go ahead and leave it off to the side. We'll flip it here in a second.
Okay.
Same
Just
thing.
go down the line.
Yep. Go down the line. Perfect.
This smells incredible.
It's
oh my God.
They
This
say-
is incredible.
You know the old saying, though. It's the smell comes from the fold. Yeah.
From the fold. It's a technique.
Yeah.
Makes a ton of sense.
Third one was a little weak.
Yep. And then just slide them over.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The third one is not my best.
Third
right
one
there.
had some.
Go ahead and flip it.
Hold on.
Because what you're looking for is that going to be that crispy tortilla,
Oh, it's getting crispy here.
which is exactly what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. And you can just line them up right next to each other, and we can get the next set of tortillas.
Oh,
down.
that's hot. Not a good one. There we go.
Oh my God. Did we sign a waiver before this?
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're trying to get spicy here in studio, just like the Orioles are trying to get spicy here in the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 1 here. Guy on first base.
Got him by an error.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Good right here, though. Leave it. You want to move
give
them?
it another like 30 seconds, and then just go ahead and flip them over, just so that we'll brown them off again, and then I'll get 2 more tortillas working. And once you flip those, we'll flip the ones that we just started as well.
Okay.
And then we'll get brown, and we'll just do the same thing. We got enough people here. We'll keep cooking.
So we're going to flip this right now?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Oh,
There you go.
oh, that's hot. That's hot, you know? Hey, you live and learn.
You get used to just
I
doing
was
that.
going to say, you do it long enough, your fingertips are basically gone.
Yeah. I love to cook. So
Sam's
same
gonna do this next week.
This will be
this is an intern kind of job.
This is exactly what's gonna happen here. And I heard the buzz here for a second, so I know our man is in the background. Dr. Yoni is gonna join us to break it all down in a second. What I need? Oh, you just flipped it.
Yeah.
Wow. Did your hands hurt?
My fingerprints are gone.
Yeah.
Because at the Iron Rooster, it's made from these mitts right here.
Yeah. It's made with love.
Made with love and, with calloused hands, to make sure nothing can stop them from making great food.
Who needs a spatula?
That's right.
Fingerprintless hands.
Okay. You know what? Go ahead. You're already on top of it.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to add?
Go ahead and flip those tacos one more time.
One more time for the one time?
Yep.
These?
Yep.
Oh, boy. It's attached.
What you're looking for,
Yoni, don't judge me.
You want that crunch, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the crunch that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I'll say, Ryan, you're probably about 10 seconds. We can take those off and put them on a plate, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We can make these into little tacos.
Okay. Perfect.
Joe Adams says I'd much rather watch Ryan cook than Gordon Ramsay.
I mean, I don't blame him. I think the quality, the excitement is
it's a
there.
bold statement.
I mean, it depends on what you want.
Turn those into tacos now.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Come on.
Yep. And just give them a nice press.
Oh, these are definitely more filled.
Good.
These 2 will be mine.
And then while those are working, I'll start working on ramen.
Okay.
Because we'll try that.
We'll
Why
try
not,
that out.
right?
Can I
A
take
little
these
bit.
off?
Yep. Go ahead.
And then I'm going to bring Yoni on here in a second, Kyle, so we can talk a couple injuries with our guy here. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. Cooking with Kyle and the Iron Rooster every Wednesday, but we also talk about sports from time to time. And we don't like to talk about injuries, but when we do, we have our guy that's working on being a little bit more optimistic with his calls, but he's usually right, so I can't blame him.
Yeah.
let's bring our guy, True Sports Therapy, Dr. Yoni. Yoni, there he is.
What's up?
Hey, you know what? I got to say, by the way, Yoni texted me when Zach Eflin came back, and he said, I was kind of spot on around 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But he did say 3.5. He said 3.5. And he goes, maybe I need to be a little bit more optimistic. And I'm like, you know what? That would be great. But as always, Yoni, you were spot on. First off, though, how's your Wednesday going?
My Wednesday's going great. I'm wondering why one of you guys is wearing gloves and one of you isn't.
Well, because I washed my hands 7 times, and we ran out of
evidence of
gloves.
that?
Good questions.
Yeah. Hey, come on down next time.
I got the gloves. Don't worry.
Listen, does your mom wear gloves when she makes food for you? No, because it's made with love.
It's made with love.
That's
you
right.
hear that? You know what? Here I am. Here they are, right there for you. Other than my physical features with cooking, everything else treating you well today?
Everything's going great. Yeah. Excited to talk. Sorry, it's about injuries.
Yeah, I know.
It's always with you, Yoni. It's
I
always.
know, dude.
But the thing is, why we bring you on, because you're kind of that guy that just knows it, and people want to hear it. Or they want to hear it, but they don't always like the answer. So why don't we get away from let's get the first one out of the way, because we know the results. But our Darius Washington, and you actually were talking about this, or when we were talking off the air, it's pretty standard here, but a huge bummer. But walk us through the Achilles tear process here. It's a guy the Ravens were really excited, especially the fans, to see him in really his first full year as a starter. And now he's probably going to be lost for the majority of the season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no question about it. We went through this a lot with Aaron Rodgers. He kind of put Achilles on the map. We just saw it with Tatum with the Celtics. So Achilles injuries are on the rise. It's kind of like today's new ACL or UCL in baseball, where guys are blowing their Achilles all over the place. You got 2 options when you repair the Achilles. We're not going to know what happens. I think he's going through surgery today, if I'm not mistaken. We're not going to know whether it is what's called an internal brace, or that's where they fixate the Achilles tendon to the bone. That's what Aaron Rodgers had. Much quicker turnaround. You're looking at 6 months, 7 months to play defensive back in the NFL after an injury like that. That is why Aaron Rodgers was so far, quote unquote, ahead of schedule. He wasn't really ahead of schedule. He just had a much less invasive surgery than friend of the program, Nick Moore, necessarily, who took a little bit longer because he had a mid-substance repair that just takes longer. That you're looking at a full year. They're 2 totally different procedures, same named injury, but very different procedures. So we'll see what our Darius gets. Best case scenario, glass half full, Rip, 6 months. 6 months. If you had your standard procedure, you're looking at he's gone for the year. It's a 12-month process, and then really it takes 2 years to get your power back.
Dang. Well, and shout out Nick Moore, by the way, who you have gotten to see face to face, and maybe we'll see Nick Moore get back in here and talk. He did. We might have a Nick Moore sighting tomorrow. Just throwing that out there. We might.
Here?
Virtual. No, come on.
Oh.
Yeah, come on.
Here, he doesn't know.
Come on.
Yeah.
But
I guarantee, Rip, if you cook in studio, Nick Moore will be in studio.
That's lies. Those are lies.
well, actually,
tried.
if we, you know what?
There's nothing that can bring Nick Moore into this.
Well, if we put 18 holes in here for
Yeah.
golf, then we'll get Nick Moore into the studio.
Yeah.
Then we'll get,
That's about it.
if we get 18 fairways and 18
We need a golf
holes,
simulator.
then we'll be fine. Yeah, golf simulator might do the trick.
Yeah.
But we'll see with our Darius. It's you got to prepare for the worst. The Ravens know the true situation. Flip it. Take that one off. Yeah, don't worry about that. But our Darius,
This is the content you came for.
obviously, our Darius, it's a huge blow for a team that was really excited about his future. Now let's go. Maybe this could be positive. It's a downer for the moment. Let's switch to baseball, Yoni.
Yep.
It's a downer because Jordan Westburg had a setback with his hamstring. But at least if we're being optimistic, hamstrings can be complicated, but they're not dire, right? But you never want to hear that a guy's got to restart his running process. So walk us through what it could mean for Jordan Westburg now, who's going to be missing more time, and maybe kind of give the viewers the outcome, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a couple things to note by way of background. Hamstring is one of the most common injuries in Major League Baseball. It is also the most re-injured muscle group in baseball. So once you pull or tear a hamstring, the chances that that happens again goes way up. That's what you're seeing here with Jordan. What I surmise occurred is he pulls the hammy. It's a low grade tear, so it's probably a grade 1 based upon them putting him on the 10-day. And then as he's ramping up, he pulls it again, which is super common. What sucks is you got to kind of restart the process. Now, if you're doing it really well, hamstring rehab has come a really long way. I just put out some content on this with some of the gurus in the hamstring field. Ways to get them back actually is not just putting them on the shelf and waiting. It's not even just getting them stronger, but it's getting them running rapidly with like changing their form a little bit as they get back to sport, and then putting them back on the diamond when they're ready. Before they're ready to go back on the diamond, you run them through a whole bunch of what we call objective measures or objective tests. So you'll have these athletes pushing and pulling, measuring how much force output there is in the hamstring compared to the other side, compared to pre-injury, to know whether they're ready. Hopefully he was going through that. Even still, if you look good going through those objective measures, once you start running, my buddy, his name's Q Willie down at UNC football. He is like one of the hamstring gurus in the country. He talks about there is no exercise in the weight room, doesn't matter how much weight you use, that generates the amount of force that goes through the hamstring as running does. That's why when you get back running, everyone's like, let's see if he can handle it appropriately. That's probably what happened with Westburg. As he's getting back to running, it's just too much force. Hamstring gives back out, and then the clock starts again. So I know what you're going to ask me, Rip. You're going to say, okay, fine. When the hell is he going to be back? Because the clock basically restarts, you're looking at another 2 to 3 weeks, because they were thinking like 10 days to 14 days. So you'll probably see him back early June.
All right. So, as you said that, Zach's the one that squirmed over here and fell back into the seat. But, I mean, that's just the reality, right? Because the hamstring, even though it's not a dire end-all situation, it still is very – I don't want to say it's not complicated like lats. You know, no. Not like lats, but they can be nagging injuries. And if you don't take care of it, it can continue to be a problem. And for Westburg here – short term, it stinks. Long term, you'd rather him get right, take a few more weeks, and hopefully the Birds are able to have some production at the third base position. Westburg comes back and can be reset. And maybe he's had a little back issue so far this year too, Yoni. I know that's not really been discussed, but I know that that's been a problem. So maybe it gives him time to kind of reset altogether.
Highly related too, Rip, low back to hamstring. The way they function together. A lot of times these athletes will let their pelvis kind of dip forward. That puts a whole bunch of tension on their hamstring, bothers their back. So wouldn't be surprised if those two things are connected. One piece of really good news, glass half full, Riff. Ready?
Go.
Okay. They came out with a study in 2019, specifically Major League Baseball players and hamstring injuries. And they found that outfielders take on average 20 to 30 days to get back from a hamstring pull, but infielders only 15 to 25 days. So it could be worse, dude. He could be playing more outfield, and then it would take a little bit longer. He's an infielder. He'll be back quicker.
Look at this guy. Look at that.
Positive.
Look at him. Look at that smile.
That's the most positive news we've ever gotten with Yoni on.
There we go. Could be worse.
We're turning into the league.
Oh, goodness. Well, hey, good. I'm glad to hear that. Before we then let you go, because I meant to ask this with the Achilles part, and you mentioned something here about that's been the new trend of injuries, right?
Yep.
Why do you think, like we said, it's up, it's growing more. Is that the amount of force people or athletes are putting on their Achilles? Is it the training? In your opinion, why are we seeing so many of these situations?
Yeah, it's one of those instances where we're asking these athletes to generate much higher forces than we used to. So yeah, higher forces, higher injury rates. It's also, I think we're not doing a good enough job on trying to take some accountability on the healthcare, on the strength and conditioning side to understand that athletes are built very differently, and those with longer Achilles tendons are more apt to rupture their Achilles tendons. So you'll see these more explosive guys tearing up their Achilles tendons. That should kind of dictate a piece of their strength and conditioning protocol. Too often it doesn't. I think that's something we can get better at an organizational level to start looking at your athletes, putting them in different buckets. Hey, you're at high risk for X. Let's make sure we're training appropriately. I don't think we've gotten there yet, but we will.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear. And, it's unfortunate. And as long as you are going to be pushing your body, you're always going to be at risk. We understand that. But how do we, just like for every athlete, focus on what makes you be able to develop and be able to stay healthy? And also that's essentially what you're doing. That's your livelihood, Yoni. So talk to us about what's going on with True Sports, where they can find you for all the information, and if they're looking for some help.
Yeah, so some new developments in True Sports land. We've got 15 new physical therapists joining us, which are some of the absolute best PTs I've ever met. So the demand, thank God, is really high, and we're here to meet your needs. We got 15 locations through Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So if you're injured, we got a spot near you. No one's going to spend more time with you. No one's going to be in better facilities than we have at True Sports. Look us up, truesportspt.com.
And as you guys know, vote of confidence from us because Yoni knows what he's talking about. He's right on with the timelines, and professional athletes all the way down to amateur, or if you're just trying to be able to go out there and live your life, he's the guy in True Sports, is the group. Yoni, I like when you smile, man. I do. And I appreciate you jumping on with us pretty quickly. And I'm sure we'll be bothering each other pretty soon.
Looking forward, guys. Make something kosher for me over there.
Hey, we'll work on it. Actually, we're gonna. You know what? That's a good idea.
We got to make the studio kosher. We got to have
work.
somebody in here. So Yoni, you got to hook us up,
and we can talk and we can work on that.
Yeah,
work it out. Work it out.
Ideas. Perfect. Appreciate you, Yoni. Thank you.
All right, guys. Talk soon.
Thank you, Yoni.
Dr. Yoni, everybody. You know what? I like to joke around, but I do like when he smiles and he gives us some more positive news. But he has to be realistic. In the situation, he's been spot on with everything. So what you just heard, if you missed it, 2 to 3 more weeks for Jordan Westburg is kind of the timeline with his setback and Darius Washington. 2 different outcomes that we'll probably find out soon. Could be 6 months, could be a year. I think more than likely we're going to see the year. And also that it can take another year to really be comfortable with getting that explosiveness back. So if Darius is going to have to miss a year and not putting himself through that, it might not be the worst thing given the timeline of what it's going to take. I mean, Nick Moore's a long snapper, but Nick's even told us he's felt restricted. And he came back last year, and now he's finally starting to feel like himself. And we expect him to be the emergency tight end this year as well. So catching some balls. So if you're new, hey now. If you're new to the channel, did you hear the pop?
I did. We're really cooking.
We are really cooking. We are really cooking here. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here on YouTube and on X. And on every Wednesday, we are cooking it with Kyle and the Iron Rooster. We are making birria
tacos and birria ramen. And we're done. We're going to.
Should I flip this one more time?
You can flip it. See, yep, we're perfect.
I just survived a little splash. And as it happened here, the Twins scored another run to make it 5-3. I can see it 6-3.
Wild pitch.
Wild pitch score.
So everyone's handling it very well, as I can see in the comments.
Sure, yeah.
We're feeling good, but why don't we eat away some of the pain? But hey, the game's not over yet. Why not a comeback?
Hey, you know what the best part about
runners in scoring position?
You know what the best part about a doubleheader is?
What?
We get to just
do it all
play
over
it again in 30 minutes.
Maybe lose again.
One more here or one over there?
Brad, I wasn't going to say it.
Over there?
I wasn't going to say it.
Hey, my camera's working for now. Is it?
This one?
Oh,
Yep.
no,
Yeah.
it's kind of sort of working.
Yep, throw it right there in the middle.
Goodness gracious. Hope you guys are hungry. And you know what? It's frustrating because in this case, you felt really good. The Orioles got off to a lead early in the game.
Gunnar had a jack.
3-0 game. The boys, Mountie with a double. And then, Dino gave up the single or the solo jack. And then that 2-out, 3-run home run by Christian Vasquez, hanging curveball. I'll dissect that a little bit more. I'll go and look at the actual tape and film while I've looked at it, but we'll break it down a different time. But it's moments like that. They cash in. And right now, the thing that's going to stick out to me This Twins team has 4 errors on the day,
Mhm.
right? I'm reading that right. 4.
Yep. Yes, you are.
And yet they're winning the game by 3 runs. Typically, a team that has less errors usually wins,
Well, the O's are also 1 for 5 in runners in scoring position again today.
which is better than the average, though.
Yeah,
right?
that's batting 200. Actually, it goes up after that.
And it's tough, man. And there was a conversation I was talking with somebody about this. He played baseball for a little bit. And I do really think at times and we've talked about it and you've seen the results, is you get so domed up by certain conversations about what you have to do.
Yep.
And I think they're thinking about, hey, well, we're trying to work at bats. So maybe you take pitches that you would usually be more aggressive on, or then maybe you swing at something that you don't mean to because you're just overthinking all of it instead of just, hey, have a plan, keep it simple, and move forward. And right now, when they fall behind, it seems like everything gets tighter. And it kind of felt like that right after the Twins took the 4-3 lead.
Yeah.
Felt like things started to tighten for the Birds. Only 3 hits on the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm trying to look at where the 3rd hit came. I know 2 of them came in that 3rd inning. Gunner's home run and Mounty's double.
Yeah.
And
The other one was I don't even know.
Gunner has 2 hits.
Yeah.
I think Gunner's came in the
he had that single that then got the men on first and second. He after Mounty, I believe, reached on an error.
so it was in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
5th, 6th. No, he walked. It's a 7th. Trying to look at that. Either way, they've had 1 hit since the 3rd inning. How about that?
You're not going to win a lot of ball games like that.
You are not. So while we're waiting here, Kyle, how can we dish this out here? Let's eat.
We're ready to go.
Intern Sam's getting his first meal in the studio. And then we're going to have Chris Rose joining us here around 3:15 to talk about round baseball. I would love his thoughts specifically on with the Orioles. And he just mentioned how the Pirates, when Sheldon got fired, that they felt it was not on the manager. That was an organizational failure. I'm curious in the situation because Brandon Hyde and the Orioles, they've had the most wins in the American League the last 2+ years, or actually since 2022, most wins in the American League. But you lose this game, you fall 10 games under 500, and we're at the quarter mark officially after this game.
I actually had a poll regarding around this, and I just kind of wanted to take a litmus test of. I'm just going to put it on somebody else because this camera is ridiculous. I'm just going to wanted to take a little bit of a litmus test on how people are feeling after the 40 games. So 40 games in the regular season. What do you think happens to the Orioles? Votes are in so far, quite a few of them. The options were a huge comeback. They make the playoffs this season, a new head coach, a major trade takes place, or a major extension. Not one vote for a major extension. Kind of gives you a feel for how people are feeling. New head coach. I don't know if maybe it's what they think is happening, but maybe perhaps what the fans want to happen. 61% of the votes think that there's going to be a new head coach after the end of this season.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that the managerial position is the one that's going to be probably of all of them is the one that would be. And look, Mouse Talk, I see it's what have you done for me lately? I agree. I'm not saying, and I made this clear. If the Orioles don't reach expectations when the season's over, like they're going to make changes.
Yeah.
Like if the Orioles didn't make the playoffs, I thought Brandon Hyde was going to go. Heck, if they made the playoffs and had a falling out again where they didn't win a playoff game, let alone like a series, probably he'd lose his job. Like those are changes that would happen here. Kyle, thank you so much for moving it around here. So it's all a very fluid conversation.
Yep.
All you can hope for right now is if you do lose this game, can you bounce back and win game 2? And can you find a way to win the series? Win series or don't get swept. That's 2 things the Orioles have actually done
really well.
Really well up until really this year. And so far they've been swept by the Twins, and then you got swept by the Tigers. Right? No, yeah, they lost. Did they win a game in Detroit? No. I think they got swept out of Detroit. I'm losing track of all the days. The point is there's more losses than wins and not a lot of winning series.
Keep track of all the losses.
Yeah.
But regardless, though, they're not winning a lot of series, and they had been swept. So that's a recipe for having trouble here. So for
and
the Orioles,
quick question. I probably should have. I mean, this happened right after we got off. I mean, the comments were made right after we got off of the show on Thursday. Probably the reason we haven't talked about it since. But what are your thoughts on Paul Skeens when they asked him about Derek Shelton? And he was like,
oh yeah,
I'm not surprised. He was like, we're 12-24, whatever the record was at the time. He's like, somebody's got to be held accountable. But what were your thoughts on, do you think that's just, hey, he said the, quiet part out loud, good for, that it's already done. It doesn't really matter if he's like, yeah, I saw it coming, or, what are your.
I think it, yeah. I mean, he said the quiet part out loud. I don't think anything he said was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He just said it's a business, so he's not surprised. The team didn't play well, and then he goes, someone is going to pay the price. And for the Pirates, they have been a team that have had higher aspirations, even though they haven't, lived up to it on the field. They were very, very bad against teams over 500 this year already. They were supposed to compete for the NL Central last year, and they didn't. And then this year, you have a really good pitching staff. And the pitching staff has done okay, but then the offense has not been good. And then they felt like they've taken no direction or no steps forward over the last 3+ years, or wherever Sheldon's been the manager there. And that's the difference that I'm saying for Hyde is he went into, he knew that the rotation was going to be a struggle. It had been a struggle to start. The offense, you needed it to be carried. They haven't lived up to it, and you're missing all-star caliber players. So Hyde is going to get more of a benefit of the doubt, whether you guys like that or not. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
But Paul Skeens is going to be like, yeah, we were supposed to be not great, but we're supposed to be better than this. We're supposed to be competitive, and we haven't been competitive over those years. And I think then the next one would be the GM. But that's more of an organizational failure. And I'm losing my breath here, but that's what I got on that, Zach. Kyle, what do you have for our food?
So let's eat. We got birria tacos. We did brisket, slowly cooked. I've got a couple of types of sauces, and the big container is the consomme, which is sort of kind of how the birria taco world works, which is you dip it in there. The other two sauces will be a little bit for flavor, have some spice, some heat. And then we did a birria ramen. That's in your, is it Manchurian? I can't remember which ramen I picked up.
Yeah.
So I just took the ramen, took it out, cooked it with some boiling water, and then added the consomme back into the container with the noodles and some cheese, some onions, some cilantro, and some more brisket. And
Yeah, this is bananas.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
yeah, that's a really good.
So have a day, have a night, have a bite here. I
Excited
feel like.
to see the ramen.
So do you think I should do the dip?
Well, the dip is kind of in the big container. That's the consomme. That's what a lot of people like to dip it in, and then
I'll do the
depending
first
on-
bite here.
Yeah, depending on how you're feeling, you can go into the other sauces. One's kind of a creamier avocado sauce, and then the other one is more of like a red tomatillo.
I feel like I'm in Miami.
Well, more so Mexico, Zach, but
Well, I was thinking
we'll
more.
forgive you.
Weren't we? No, I don't know why I said Miami, not Sarasota, because that's where we got burrito tacos.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. That was.
They've become popular all over. We do
Yeah.
birria tacos down in College Park. We also do a birria waffle fry, which is really cool. So we take the slow cooked brisket, all the sauces, and then go over the top with some waffle fries with all the accompaniments. And yeah, good. What are you thinking?
Oh, that's incredible.
That's ridiculous.
Phenomenal.
I can't believe Ryan made those.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean we're 3 for 3.
Yeah.
You got to say, right? First week, what did we do? Smash burgers when you cooked them, and then we did cheesesteaks last week, and then here we are on tacos. Yeah, no, it's a good dish. Try the ramen though. Tell me how the ramen tastes. That's what I'm contemplating.
Don't
Like
have to
the
twist
ramen?
my arm.
Sam, I saw Sam just trying to house some back there.
Yeah,
He is.
Sam
He's
didn't
going to
even
town.
Wait for the cheers. He went right to it.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, that ramen looks be hot. So
Yeah.
just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little spice to it too. Throw a little sriracha on top just to give you guys a little bit of heat. Kind of a
Yeah.
slow burn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. Mhm.
yeah.
This will lift your spirits if you're watching the team not play well.
You know, what
It's-
game was just played?
Yep.
Man.
Put the game away.
Wow. And the Orioles did lose.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
wow.
but we won.
But we are winning right now
Oh,
in
yeah.
here. This is phenomenal.
Hose might not be fine, but
Let's
we
play
are.
2, as they say.
Let's play 2. What else then? Are any of these items possibly going to be available on the menu coming up?
Yeah, so in College Park right now, you can currently get birria tacos. So if you're down in College Park for dinner, we run that every night. People love it. Thinking about doing it up, north in Baltimore, but we'll see. It's a process for sure. So we run it for dinner downtown, and people seem to really love it. But I usually eat birria probably every day for dinner. It's just my favorite, by far my favorite thing to eat.
Oh,
And I thought about it yesterday. I was like, you know what? Let's cook it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's take this show on the road. And we did.
we did it. We did it here. And you know what I'm seeing? I'm sorry, Mouse Talk doesn't lift our spirits because we're not eating it. That's a very fair point.
Yeah. Understood.
However, that was one thing we were talking about, Kyle, with as we continue to try to grow this and do more, maybe for the Holy Shirts and Pants members, when people were trying to get to Baltimore and trying to get maybe the group out to the Iron Rooster. Maybe that's something that we line up in the future there, where it doesn't have to be just baseball related. We can have other people get in on the action here.
Yeah.
So
we'd love to have the whole crew come down. And we'll do, we've done it, in a couple of other iterations before where we've done, a little bit of a get together after hours, grab some cocktails, which, by the way, coming up a little bit later, Bar Ripken will be open. And we're going to start with D. Betty, our friends over at D. Betty. So we'll have a couple of cocktails there for you to try and maybe for you to make.
perfect.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So I'm going to break down.
You'll break it down. I'll move this over. I'll get ready for our next guest that's going to join us here.
Break down Cafe Ripken and move over to Bar Ripken.
Cafe Ripken to Bar Ripken. But this is how we do it every Wednesday here on the show. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. As we move over here, and let me see if I can do this correctly now. I'm a little bit afraid of how I'm going to move with the food.
Yep.
Don't mind me.
I would move without the food, actually.
We're going to bring Sam over.
All right. Yeah, I was probably going to switch.
Orange Crush has got to be official state cocktail. I would say that probably already is. Kieran.
Yeah, we're going to do. I brought a couple of different things.
Yeah.
We do an Orange Crush. We call it the Iron Crush.
Of course.
So that one we'll start with. We do a blueberry and lemon crush,
Okay.
which is probably our most popular.
Yeah, I love that.
Cocktail
That's my favorite
that
one.
we serve.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll round it out with some D. Betty pineapple and do
I like
Chesapeake Bay Breeze. So, once
the
you're
pineapple
done on your side, I'll get
instant
this ready to
favorite
go.
of mine too.
Perfect. Perfect. Can you guys hear me okay? We're all set up?
Yep.
Well, let's bring on then our next guest again, as we are going to be cooking with Kyle and we're going to have our next setup coming. But in the meantime here, bring on an individual that has been around the sports media landscape for a long time, doing work with John Boy, has his dugout discussions as well. And if he's ready, we can bring on Chris Rose. Chris, how you doing?
Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm good. You're joining us every Wednesday. We cook in studio here. And maybe to start off, what's one of your favorite go-to meals that you would like to cook or have someone make for you?
We do a fun little turkey sausage with, I think it's orzo. It's the rice pasta kind of deal. We'll mix in a little spinach or broccoli or asparagus, depending on the given day. That's always solid. I know that's sitting in my fridge, so the minute I'm done, and I'm sure with you guys stuffing your faces, I'm going to be hungry anyway.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
no, don't apologize. But I mean, you could have sent it 3,000 miles away. I would have eaten along with you. What do you eat?
We can work on that. We just, a lot of people here in Baltimore are a little bit upset because the Orioles dropped the first game. And I said, well, we're able to kind of eat away some frustrations or pain, but I understand. Chris, next time that will be on us. We'll ship it to you ahead of time. You can heat it, and then when you join, it's like we're all eating a nice family meal.
Done.
Okay?
Done.
Love it.
Yep.
Perfect. So,
Love it.
Chris, I got to ask you then on being around. I saw you post about this and talk about it with the Pete Rose situation.
Mhm.
Got a long conversation about this with a lot of people. It's Pete Rose was always a flawed individual. We understand why they're saying it in the Manfred's letter of no longer a threat to the integrity of the game. Doesn't mean he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but do you think this is going to open up other conversations? Because there has been some interesting moments in baseball history here. And again, that steroid era is something else that will probably be next, but just kind of your other initial thoughts on the overturn and what it could mean in the future.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't see baseball today, and that's our daily podcast, I do it with former Twins third baseman Trevor Plouffe. We talked a long time about it. I wish it hadn't happened. I wish the overturn hadn't happened. It's partly, obviously, political. We understand why it's happening. I just don't agree with it. And for people that have said, well, what's the big deal? There's terrible people in the Hall of Fame. I get it. I understand it. First of all, we're talking about being reinstated to the game. He's not being put in the Hall of Fame or being taken out of the Hall of Fame, which I think is an important delineation here. People like Ty Cobb and of that ilk, I don't know how you pull them out of the Hall of Fame. I wish you could. I really do. I wish you could. But when Ty Cobb went into the Hall of Fame in the 30s, I don't know how people were thinking about it. I can only tell you how we're thinking about it in 2025. Thank God we've made a lot of improvements in this country in terms of how we think things through. There are other people who say, well, it's a Hall of Fame. It's a freaking museum. What do you care about? Well, there's a clause in there that talks about, responsibility and, being meaningful. There's a character clause.
Yeah.
For the Pro Football Hall of Fame, there is not. They are specifically told, we only care what that person did inside of that rectangle. And if baseball had laid out the law and said, we only care about what you do on the diamond, then we probably wouldn't even have this discussion. Mm-hmm. But Pete Rose, A, broke baseball's number one rule. B, and I know that people will say, well, who are you, the moral police? Just stop for a second. Pete Rose admitted in a lawsuit that he had a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old when he was in his 30s. If you're okay with that, I can't help you. I really can't. If you want that in your Hall of Fame when there is a character clause, I guess I won't be visiting your Hall of Fame anytime soon. And the other side of this where people say, well, everything, including your show, is sponsored by DraftKings or somebody else. I get it. We all work for people that we don't necessarily, A, either agree with, or B, get to reap the rewards of everything. I work for the NFL. I'm not allowed to gamble on sports. So if I say something is presented to you by DraftKings, what does that mean? It means I'm working. If you can't see the difference between that and what Pete Rose did when it comes to gambling, once again, I can't really help you out.
Right. It's and the reason why it's a deeper dive, right? Is as far as just, it's not necessarily, and again, to clarify, being reinstated does not mean he's going to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, what happens here for the consideration, we'll see. The gambling component, you're right. People have a choice. I mean, heck, when I was playing in the minors, Chris, every year we'd have that conversation. What was the number one rule? You cannot bet on baseball. Whatever that may be, that was there. You can't do it. And it's in the fine print. They say it on all the videos. So he didn't do himself any favors there. And this is just the world that we live in now. The character clause, another guy that probably lost his opportunity to be in for different reasons, but Curt Schilling was a guy that was right on the fence of being in. And the voters in the last year, right, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, it was a controversial situation, and Curt was left off. Now, whether people think Curt was a Hall of Famer or not, the Hall of Fame and the writers took into the consideration of who should be in. And that is another component of it. And that's why I'm curious, Chris, what's going to happen with the steroid stuff. I think that's the thing where it's going to go next, where it's not the same dialogue of character but it wasn't illegal at the time, but it's frowned upon. Because then for me, that's going to be the next conversation that's going to happen is what are you going to do with this steroid era if you're going to go into lineage? Because there are a lot of big names in history that are left out of that. Do you think that that's the next conversation we're going to see?
Yeah, we got to get to this first one with Pete Rose, which won't happen until December of 2027. That's the earliest that this 16-person committee, and it's 4 writers, it's 4 former players, it's 4 former executives, and I forget what the other quartet is. But they have to get, Pete Rose would have to get 75% of the votes. So there would have to be 12 yeses. And I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. So all of this, myself included, everybody who's up in arms one way or another about this, it might be a moot point regardless in 2027.
Yeah.
My number one thing with this is that people will say, well, God, Rose, you are a holier than thou. You don't believe in second chances. Well, we can discuss the holier than thou. I don't think I am. I think I'm choosing a very specific hill here on which to scream about. But you have to be willing to help yourself. You have to be the number one person that wants to turn things around and show some contrition if people are willing to give you second chances. And Pete Rose never did that for 15 years. He denied betting on baseball. You know when he finally said, I did? When he came out with a book so that he could make some money.
Right.
I mean, if you don't feel duped by that, then I guess more power to you. And I loved Pete Rose as a player. He was one of my favorite guys. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, when the Indians stunk, were horrible. The first almost 25 years of my life, they didn't finish higher than 3rd or 4th in their division. That's hard to do, thanks to some people in Baltimore occasionally. So,
hey, don't look at me right there, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So,
go ahead. Finish your point.
You understand what I'm saying is that
No
Pete
doubt.
Rose was I loved it. I loved everything he stood for as a player, wanting to win, all that sort of stuff. But man, there's not that many rules you gotta follow in baseball. Not that many.
Yeah. I'm with you on it. I always just felt it's always timing, right? It's always timing of how this came out was, hey, recently passes. This is brought out at this time. Now you're going to have a discussion. And baseball is going to have to go through this checklist of what you're going to have to go through and how it's handled. You're right. Step 1, we're going to find out what the Hall and others are going to consider before we move on to stage 2. And I got one more question for you, Chris. And again, for those that are tuning in, Chris, you're doing work everywhere with John Boy. You've done work on NFL Network. You do Baseball Today with Trevor. Your dugout discussions, which the recent one you had I saw with Vlad, with hitting a home run, I believe, at Camden Yards when he was 11 or 12 years old, which that dude's just a beast. I can say I spent a lot of time at that ballpark, Brad. I did not do that when I was a kid. And I did that a few times in like batting practice when I was like a grown man.
Yeah.
But Baltimore's having a little rough go, Chris, right now. And they just lost another game where they're not driving in runs, had the lead early and things fell apart. I saw your piece with talking about Sheldon and the Pirates, and your take on it was it's an organizational failure there. I think Brandon Hyde's going to have more of a leash here in Baltimore, just given the fact of what you knew the deficiencies were coming into the season. But is there a scenario here that you think the Orioles do change pace mid-season if they continue to fall down a hole that people thought wasn't going to be the case here in 25?
Yeah, it's possible. It is, because when you have massive expectations, and there were still, this isn't 2 years ago where they won 100 games, or last year where they still were a damn good baseball team, but people did not expect what we've had the first 6 weeks. This has been horrific. And listen, 2 years ago, I was screaming for them to sign Carlos Rodon. I thought he would have been perfect. They went instead last year for a 1-year stopgap in Corbin Burns, where they knew they weren't going to be able to keep him, or, whatever. It wasn't realistic that he was going to be more than a rental. I think this team has been terribly mismanaged from this standpoint. You can't be a prospect hugger. You don't have to be AJ Preller where you're dishing out every prospect. But it's worked for him. I do think that there's somewhere in between the two. And I would have sat down a year ago and come up with a list. These are the do not touch. And it can't be 8 to 10 deep. It's got to be 4. These are the 4 guys that are not leaving us. The rest of them, maybe it's got to be a good deal and it's got to be on my terms, but I can let them go. And I don't know where Jackson Holiday, which group he fits in. I don't know where Jordan Westburg fits in. I don't know where Kyle Stowers fit in. I'm saying this is 10 months ago.
Yeah.
But you got to pick and choose. Not every prospect is there to grow up and plant seeds in Camden Yards and all grow up together. That's not realistic anymore. They have failed in getting enough pitching help here to make this team a viable World Series contender. And that's a shame.
Yeah. And the reality was they had a average, or some could say below average staff going into the year. Then you lose Grayson. Eflin gets hurt early.
Mm-hmm.
And then you knew that would be a weakness. So what'd you have to have your strength? It was supposed to be this core of the lineup, and they have underwhelmed. Defense hasn't been good either. The only part that's been pretty solid, and I've talked about it, Felix Bautista looks like Felix Bautista. The back end of the bullpen has been pretty solid, but when you have to use up your bullpen so much because your starters aren't going deep into the game, that's where you run into problems with your bullpen. So I'm hoping the best for it. I think you dissect it as well as anyone out there, Chris. You're to the point. I appreciate it. Before then, we let you go. Where else can people find you besides everything I just mentioned with Baseball Today, the dugout discussions? Where else can people look for all the work you're doing?
Yeah, with NFL, it's scheduled release day, so I know that people in Charm City will be interested in that one. In my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, it'll be interesting to see which of our 17 quarterbacks will be playing, week 1 against whom. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, the thing we know in Baltimore is that, at least Derrick Henry's.
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore has some signing of an extended player right now. It's a Raven.
By the way, are we really buying that he doesn't eat till 4:00 every day? We buying that?
I mean, when I look at his physique, no. Yeah. But honestly, he could tell me if I'm standing right next to him and he says he doesn't. Okay, Derrick, I believe you. All right, damn.
Know how many calories he consumes? He's 247 pounds or whatever. He's not consuming 800 calories a day and calling it an afternoon.
No, but didn't DK Metcalf used to say that too with workouts out in Seattle, but now with Pittsburgh? But I thought he said, I don't eat when I work out and I eat a ton of candy. And then he just got a 12-pack and he's just shredded.
Well, it was like Ocho Cinco. It just ate McDonald's. Or I think
it was
Tyreek Hill eats like Wendy's or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I eat all that stuff and I look like this. So
hey, Chris, you look beautiful the way you are, okay?
Yeah.
You look great, and I appreciate it. I'm excited for the schedule release, and thank you for taking the time. Thank you for putting up with us, and we'll make sure that we're gonna next time we see you, we're gonna make sure we get the food out to you ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even tell me what you're eating.
Okay, we had birria tacos today.
Birria tacos, birria ramen,
and birria ramen. So restaurant here, Iron Rooster. Anytime you're in town to Baltimore, Chris. We know a group here. Kyle will show you a good time. We can cook up almost anything. And by we, Kyle does 90% of it, but then I say I did it, because it's my show.
Yeah. No, I like that. Okay. It's good. Yeah. I am non-discriminatory when it comes to food intake. I accept everything basically into this temple of doom.
Yeah. Hey, then you fit in perfectly, Chris. Well, hey, go. I know you got to go work. Thank you for taking the time and hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.
You got it, guys. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Rose, everybody. We're going to have to ask Derrick now about the food, but it is pretty crazy. Yeah. I also with certain athletes, by the way, that can just go, yeah, I'm just not going to eat this. I'm going to, I'm going to eat this.
Right.
I don't need to have this diet.
No.
Right.
It's like the kids that
Here's my tacos.
It's like the kids that don't study. Like when you're in class or when you're in high school or whatever, they don't study and they just get A's all the time. They just sit around, don't even pay attention, and then you're the one that has to work your ass off just to get a B.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of feeling.
Yeah, and there are that conversation. I know genetics versus you can make the most of whatever you're doing, which I agree with.
Yeah.
it does help when you do have genetics on your side, though.
Yes.
I will say, like, it does help in that circumstance here. But you know what? Hey, look, I do know with Derrick's case, there's a reason why he got that contract extension. He is taking care of his body. Like, he is doing it. Running backs, there's a reason why there's not a lot of guys like him. Genetically, he's a freak, but he's making sure he stays looking like that monster that he is. And I'm excited to kind of see what that's going to unfold. But Chris Rose, I thought it was a very good take and honest perspective on not only Pete Rose, the steroid era, but with the Orioles. Held nothing back there.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very
I think it was fair.
it was a very fair statement. And we love fair. We love fair here. And you know what? We love all of you guys here. And if you guys love us, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on YouTube and X. We've already talked today to Dr. Yoni of True Sports Physical Therapy about the injury to Jordan Westburg and to Ravens safety Ardarius Washington. Just had Chris Rose of John Boy NFL Network talking about baseball and a little bit of football. And then we're getting ready for Bar Ripken here. Or Bar Ryan? Did we say Bar Ripken or Bar Ryan?
Bar Ripken.
I like Bar Ripken.
Bar Ripken's pretty electric too.
Yeah.
And intern Sam had his first cooking experience here on the show. Hey, proud of you, Sam. Hey, and you know what? If you do have to go too, you have permission to leave. You can get out of here. I know you're on more of a tighter schedule at times, and he doesn't even know how much work he's going to have to put in here in the next couple of weeks.
Nope.
He's going to have to do ollie squats.
We're just easing him in at this point.
We are easing him in. And you know what, though? Because every Wednesday we do our fitness challenge. Brad, you're going to have to put some polls up because guess who lost last night?
I forgot that I lost, and I housed those burrito tacos, and that might be a problem. Because last we got a good strategy, and I housed the rest of the cheesesteaks after I did it.
But you know what's good about that is like the burrito tacos they're not heavy. It was still like a lighter type of.
It
wasn't a cheesesteak. Let me put it that way.
It hit me as I was downing more of the ramen. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should wait a little bit because I was going at the ramen. I was like, you know what? This I don't know what workout I'm doing yet, so I should probably wait. So
A lot of cheese in that.
Yeah, what
Those tacos.
options should we have today? So jumping jacks for 2 minutes with the weight vest.
With the weight vest. Okay.
You know?
yeah, it's gotta be with the weight vest.
I feel bad putting you through burpees again. We've done burpees a few times.
Yeah, I think we gotta switch them up.
I did shoulder presses today.
Ooh, shoulder
So I'm
presses.
thinking like shoulder presses with medicine ball.
We have a 45-pound dumbbell back there. We got two of them.
Well, there you go. You could do that.
We also, I think, a minute and a half of mountain climber, the ab exercise.
Okay.
Any other things that we're missing? Those three?
Yeah, we gotta have a fourth one.
Yeah. 5-minute plank? No, that's too mean.
Yeah, I'll do a plan.
Like a 1 minute plank with the vest.
1:30.
I say 2 minutes and 30 seconds because that's the halfway threshold here for the Ryan Ripken Show as we get ready and fit for the summer. So you do a minute straight, 45 seconds one way, 45 seconds another, and you're done.
All right,
Straight
I can
through.
do that. I can do that.
Yeah, I think he's got it here. And speaking of our fitness segment here.
Wait a second. I just remembered that we got to do this.
Oh, yeah, you're not done yet. We're still having Bar Ripken, but we got to shout out our friends over. He's going to be a tough go for Zach here. But Merit Clubs, meritclubs.com. We appreciate you guys. And look here, Merit is allowing us the opportunity to give away 2 weeks free membership. Got over 8 locations, and they're opening up the pools, especially down in Baltimore. Ken voted one of the best rooftop pools. I think it was voted the best pool rooftop. That is opening up. It's opened on the weekends now. So we're excited for that. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right here so you guys can have it. Once again, the code is on the ticker right there. So if you're wondering what it is RIP25, all lowercase. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're just trying to have people help people. And also, they do have the ability to have some drinks up there at the pool. Hence, our friends with Deep Eddy. Shout out Deep Eddy and shout out Merit Clubs. And for more information on what they have in store, check out meritclubs.com. We were supposed to do a show there yesterday, but with all this weather, we had to push it. It looks like it's happening next week down there. So I'm excited. Can't wait. Appreciate every one of you. And we are gearing up for Bar Ripken here. But we take a quick second here, Brad, any other things that, or as I take a breather for a minute, that we wanted to talk about or on your mind?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing.
There was something I sent you. Oh, we did. We forgot to ask Chris about the Rob Lowe bit with John Boy.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't catch that, Rob Lowe actually did a voiceover for John Boy on a recent breakdown, and it was absolutely phenomenal. But that was awesome. It'd be nice to see Nick Moore. I was going to bring that in sometime. At some time.
Nick Moore's
Virtually
slated to come back.
Virtually or not. I am pumped for that Derrick Henry is going to be here for another 3 years. What, another 3 years?
2 more years on top of it. So
On top of
right. So it would be 3.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
3. Right. So 3 more years.
So I put him. Oh wow, that's exciting. We need to. The
So,
Ravens need to win a championship. It's on Nick Moore.
One of the things that we talked about amongst ourselves was just like who's going to be the next major extension for the Ravens. Rocco was in there talking about maybe it could be Lamar. I don't think it'll be Lamar this year.
I think it's Lamar.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think that they would try to extend him before the market gets to $80 million for a quarterback.
The only reason I would think that is if they were going to do a restructure for someone else, because they have a lot of guys to pay for still, especially the O-line. Linderbaum's got to get paid. Like I just hesitate. I just pump the brakes a little bit on Lamar this year. Not saying he doesn't get the extension, but I feel like Eric DeCosta's got his work cut out for him, and a lot of other personnel that he's got to make sure to get paid before they worry about a Lamar extension.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Lamar could help free up some space to then sign an extension, like at least for the short term. That seems the most logical because quarterbacks just continue to get more expensive.
Yeah. I mean,
and Lamar is going to still be the top end quarterback. So if you want to get that done, but
Linderbaum's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. And you are going to want that guy. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Nick Moore and him, they look like they're the same size, but I know who I'm taking in a fight. It's not Nick.
They don't look like they're the same size.
No, they don't. I was just trying to be nice.
I will say, if I find out about a Nick Moore extension through a reporter, not Nick Moore, I will be disgusted.
Yeah, because he keeps being very cryptic in the chat.
I better be if he signed something, I better be FaceTimed in on the signing. I better be there. When they take the pictures with the family, I want the Ryan Ripken show all on the FaceTime on like the camera.
Uh-huh.
I am holding a Polaroid of us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Nick's gonna have to break down the show. Breaking news: Nick Moore has been re-signed.
Will Lutz to the.
He's actually due for one.
Yeah, after
his contract's up this year, so
maybe they want to see how he handles a rookie kicker.
I was just gonna say rookie special teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's the leader of that special teams unit now. Like for sure,
he is.
Yeah,
he's the veteran.
The vet.
That's kind of a scary thought, honestly.
That is very scary.
That Nick Moore's a vet?
No, that he's the leader of the special teams unit.
That is terrifying.
Also, I guess just moving down some news. Chase McDermott is now going to start game 2. Really hope that doesn't mean anything for Povich, who was not going to start anymore. So we'll see what happens there. I'm just going to do my quick media dump that I kind of just go through. Dickie V, cancer free.
Hey.
Again, wow.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So just he announced last night. But yeah, we hit all the other stuff that I was gonna go through. So
was it throat cancer again, or what was he battling this time?
I'm not quite sure the specific.
Because I know for a while he was struggling to just even speak, which is, just crazy. What a battle that guy.
Yeah.
Was.
Good for him.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Good for him. Very good for him. And unfortunately, though, it's not good for Orioles fans, is that the Orioles lost again, and they have game 2, a chance to tie the series up or lose the series today.
Yeah.
And would drop to 11 games under 500. Are there any other lineup changes for the second game?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me go through the lineup real fast. Sorry, I literally just had the tweet.
There's no Adley.
Yeah, which is expected.
There was no.
So the lineup for game 2, we got Holiday at second, Mountcastle at first, Henderson at shortstop, DH is Ryan O'Hearn. Laureano, after being tossed in game 1, welcome back, baby. Left field, Cedric Mullins in center field, Kerstead in right field, Rivera at third, Handley behind the dish, and McDermott on the mound, wearing number 59. Sorry.
Oh.
I don't know why he just walked past me. I was very, very confused.
Because his name's on the show. That's all.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Also, when he was just like throwing his, I don't know what happened over here when I was trying to just go about.
I don't
talk about
he royally screwed up his in-ear monitor.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to smoothly move on. Bar Ripken's gonna be fun though. We'll see how that
here's a
impacts.
good look at it right now. While it's being set up. I like everything that I see right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be nice.
Meanwhile, there is a missing Ryan Ripken.
Hey, welcome back. Did you want to come over here?
Hey, everyone, to change up the vibe here, why don't you just name a song that makes you feel better? All right? What song that makes you feel groovy?
Did you drink over there?
What? No, this is a seltzer.
I know, but it looks like a natty light.
He's coming over here. You're like,
Hey, you know what? People helping people. All right?
everyone name a song that makes them feel better.
Yeah. What gets you in the groove?
By the way, Zach, it is a dead heat tie between shoulder press, plank, and mountain climbers.
I do appreciate the support of my mother who texted me and said, which do you want me to vote for? I really appreciate that. I just told her I've accepted whatever fate happens. Like, you're a real one, Mom, but I don't think your one vote it's got to have that big of a difference.
I don't know. There's only 17 votes so far. Mountain climbers have just taken the lead at 35%.
Oof. I can do that.
Let's get those abs looking good here. Let's get fit. And also, why don't we just add to the insult to injury for what you're going to have to do? Because you are 0 for 1 after your pick last week. So why don't we take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races in West Virginia. And Zach started off his betting week 0 for 1. He took Aaron Judge, 2 or more bases. And Aaron Judge did not reach 2 or more bases.
He got one base. And then if you watch, it was one of those just insanely disappointing matchups, because if you watch, he gets a single.
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez robbed him in the gap of one and then intentionally walked. So if it ain't broke, I guess this is broke. We're just going to let it fix itself. We're going back to back. Aaron Judge, 2+ bases.
Aaron Judge is what you're going with here.
Aaron Judge, 2+ bases.
Hey, Brad, put the camera on Zach so we can have it right or wrong if it's Aaron Judge.
Back-to-back days.
Look at the camera.
Aaron Judge, 2+ bases. You know, last night we got robbed.
And look at the camera.
And
look right at the
tonight
look
we're
at the
bouncing
audience.
back.
Look it right at the audience.
Last
It's
night
going
we
to change.
took an L, but tonight we bounce back. Aaron Judge, 2+ bases. Lock it in.
Did you just quote Big Sean? Wow. I know my music here. But Zach's going back to the well with Aaron Judge. And hey, if you are looking to go to the well here, ESPN Bet and Hollow Casino have a nice little offer for you. So if you want to tail Zach, it could proceed with caution. Here's a little offer that they have going on at the moment. You bet $10, you get $100 in bonus bets. If you download the ESPN Bet app, and on top of it, you get ESPN Plus. The first 30 days are on them. Appreciate our friends at Hollywood Casino, but you must be 21 or older. And if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or call our friend Rocco DeSangro. Appreciate our friends up at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Beautiful. Kyle.
Hey, I was going to say too, Zach, just sticking on with the betting. There's baseball tonight has Fernando Tatis against the Angels hitting a jack, Brent Rooker hitting a jack against the Dodgers, and Shohei Ohtani hitting a jack against the A's.
Ooh.
Plus 4, 8, 5, 7. All three of those things happen.
$100 pays out.
$4,000.
Life savings on it.
I mean, it's possible.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's going to be a lot of jacks in that A's Dodgers game. One of them.
Oh.
I mean, Brent Rooker, pretty good chance he hits one.
Hey, you know what? Don't let the guy get hot. Don't let
Friend of the program.
don't let the sack get going. The Sacramento A's actually have had a pretty solid start.
Listen, yeah, you can't complain.
You cannot complain.
Low expectations, and they are exceeding them.
Yeah. Well, and you also can't complain about what we have cooking over here. I guess what we have being put together. What concoction are we rolling with over there, Kyle? Welcome to Bar Ripken.
Yeah, so Deep Eddy, our friends over at Deep Eddy, we do a lot with them.
We
Got
do
a couple of crushes on the menu for today. Figured we'd do a orange crush. We call it the Iron Crush, just because why not? But
Branding.
yeah, I mean that's that Maryland stable. In fact, I saw Mel Kiper on the draft coverage brought out orange crushes to the entire crew on set to introduce that team to the Iron Crush or the Orange Crush. Maybe it was the Iron Crush. And I figured, let's, besides today, even though the weather is in the 60s and raining, but what day isn't enjoyable with, an Orange Crush? Yeah. So we'll throw that together. And then we'll do a blueberry. We do a lemon blueberry crush at the restaurant.
Ooh.
And then I think we'll just top it off with a little bit of Deep Eddy pineapple. We'll do a Chesapeake Bay Breeze. So
I like it.
Oh,
ready when you are.
I like this segment.
Oh, I like this segment too.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
The lemon blueberry is my go-to.
You love the lemon
When
blueberry.
I go to the
Even the lemon
Irish
blueberry, syrup by itself is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But throw some Deep Eddy lemon in there.
oh yeah.
And shout out to our friends over at Deep Eddy Dave and Franny. Say hello to them.
They're the best.
They are the best.
They really are, and we appreciate it. This is how this bar got built. And not actually, but they did bring this whole bar idea together. So shout out to Deep Eddy, and they have been a tremendous sponsor to work with and like to have fun. They're allowing us to have fun, and that's what they're all about here. And we did know that the Orange Crush, it's a Maryland thing.
It is.
It is.
I go to Virginia, though. Go to Virginia Beach when I played down in Norfolk. They kind of like it over there.
They claim it's theirs, which is
Starting to
great.
take it, you
They
think?
claim it's theirs.
Yeah, there are people
Yeah.
in Virginia who claim that Orange Crush is.
Get the
From
hell out of
Virginia.
here.
I mean, I didn't say they were right.
No. No,
I
no
think
chance.
this is a Maryland staple.
Yeah, I will say there was some really good ones in VB when I was there. Got to give them credit. It was
Well,
good.
they might know how to make a good one, but that ain't where it started. They can't just claim it as their own.
Do you need me to help you over there, or you want to just do it?
Hey, you tell me. You want to come over and make a couple cocktails, or you want me to
Do you want me to show you how to do it? Okay, I can show you how to do it.
do it?
Yeah, I'll come on over.
Oh God, here
I
we
mean,
go.
when you're good at everything, it's hard. It's hard not to show one what to do. So
Yeah, I
come
mean
on over.
it's when you are a proven chef.
Yeah, humble rip.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, I'm always humble, Rip, except when it comes to this, where it sounds like I'm not humble. Hey, you know what? I'm going to leave these things. I don't need these things right now.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of want Zach to move around a little bit. Move around the cabin. We're back. All right. So show me what we got, and what we're working with.
Well, we'll start with the Orange Crush. I brought a couple of spouts. I didn't bring a jigger for the shot, so we'll do a count. We'll do a bit of a free pour, which this seems like a free
A
pour.
little extra challenge for Rip.
Free pour kind of a day.
I got a good eye. I got a good eye on me, so we're good.
Look,
Good old eye test.
So typically the count's a 3 count, right? If you're gonna do about 1.5 ounces of vodka, and then you kind of pull it back a little bit. So maybe 3 to 5.
You ever seen that one meme out there with one shot of vodka?
2 shots of vodka.
Oh, it's 2? Yeah. I got exactly what I need to do for this one.
Yeah. So I've got Deep Eddy Orange there with a spout on it. That's the one in the middle right here. So if you want to grab that.
This one right here?
Yep. And then got our shaker, trusty Deep Eddy shaker. Just throw a little bit of ice in there.
3 count.
The key is hold it by the spout.
Yeah.
That way the spout doesn't, or don't hold it by the spout and the whole bottle.
Watch what happens.
So we'll go in there, and you're looking at a 3 count, and basically it's 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to count out loud, so that was good. All right, perfect.
That seemed like it was a lot more than it was.
Felt
Felt like that was there for
well,
a
we'll do
while.
a float on top too, so that way. And then
That's nothing in there.
I didn't bring any triple sec. What I did bring was some curacao. We work with a company out of the Eastern Shore, Lion Rum. They make it their own curacao, and it's fantastic. So I thought, you know what? Let me switch it up a little bit on the triple sec.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a real quick
Yeah.
1.5 count on that if you want to go ahead and drop that in.
So one count?
Yeah, just
like a 1.5,
like
you
a-
said.
Yeah,
One count of
I thought we were having fun today.
perfect.
Oh, okay. Or 3
Jeez.
two shots of vodka.
that was not it. You know what?
I think you're good.
I think you
Hey, I
nailed it.
appreciate
No,
it.
I think
Also,
you nailed that.
Hey, Sam, if you want to do a little how low can you go on your way out, you can. Yeah. We're also, this
Be a
is
big
the
guy.
moving part of the studio here. This is how we roll here.
Listen, it's fully functioning. Oh, hey.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
just caught the corner. That's all right.
Boom.
Well done.
Intern Sam, we'll
And
see you tomorrow.
See you
And we'll-
tomorrow.
Yeah, can't wait for him to have to pick up Ollie for an entire show.
Just hold
Weighs
him.
75 pounds.
And we'll go ahead and say
I think
drink,
Sam weighs
drink
75.
responsibly, right?
Yes.
So that's always the drink responsibly. We'll throw that out.
Yes, please.
Please.
And then I'll go ahead and do a splash of orange juice. And then another splash of any favorite lemon lime soda that you like. And hello, Ollie. Good to see you again.
Hey, Sam.
I'm going to give it just a quick shake. And boom, we're going crushes. So we'll do a couple of orange, and then I'll go ahead and finish these ones up. And then Ryan, if we wanted, we'll get into the lemon blueberry. Why don't we do a lemon blueberry one next? And then I'll get everybody making everything. So there's your orange.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. So what am I doing
Okay,
now?
so a little bit more ice.
Okay.
And we're gonna grab that Deep Eddy lemon, which is the other bottle with the spout on it. If you want to grab that,
The other one.
The
Gotcha.
lemon, not the orange. Pay
we'll
attention.
do the same thing. We'll do a 3 count, 3.5 count of Deep Eddy lemon. 5-ish.
It's, my math's a
Well,
little
that
bit
one's for
off
Zach because I feel like he's going to need that in order to get work
to get through this. Yes, I agree.
And then we do a blueberry and lemon reduction, which is what this is. I brought that over from the restaurant. Really, really good stuff. And then we'll go ahead and just give that a splash, and then another splash of your favorite lemon lime soda. And the color on this is really going to be great. So if you want to give that a little shake,
Shake it up.
Make sure it's nice and tight.
Make sure it's tight.
Yeah, please.
Ish, yeah.
I mean, shake it like you mean it.
Well, I don't want it to just go everywhere.
That's why you made sure it was tight.
Yeah, I was like, you got some. Oh,
There you go. There you go.
come here often. Tough day.
Tough day.
Birds lose again.
Well, see, that's where the towel would.
Oh, see, that's exactly. I put this on back. Here we go.
Now you're
So
there.
that's the thing. It's like you can imagine you had a rough day. Maybe you watch your favorite team lose. Maybe like, hey, Birds lose again.
Another tough one. Can't get him in for front of the scoring position.
Oh, Karen didn't return your call. It's okay, buddy. There's more fish in the sea. Put this on ice for you.
First time.
Then you
First
take the top off and then you go ahead and pour that
First
in.
time.
Just pour it in.
Yep. You're gonna get a super
Brooks.
like
Brooks, you should be ecstatic about this.
blue color, yeah. So there's the lemon and blue.
Oh, that does look incredible.
That does look
We'll
really.
give it a little float of the curacao.
Move that over to the left a little bit. Oh my God, Rip.
It's all right. Party fouls, they say. We got Ollie here.
Ollie's gonna-
Ollie will be drunk by the end of that. I should have told you. It goes to a V right there.
We got a towel. We got a towel. Don't worry.
I'll tell you. So my first day ever working in a restaurant, ever.
In other news, Chase McDermott.
And I worked at a Mexican restaurant down in South Florida, and I had never waited tables before. Margaritas are a big thing in Mexican restaurants, and
Yeah.
I dumped a strawberry margarita all over the first person I ever served, and similarly wanted to just crawl in a hole and just go away. So it's good.
That has to be
You're gonna be
embarrassing.
good. We'll get it cleaned up. We
It
got
can't be
people-
as embarrassing.
Of course, Sam left right when we
as
were
this.
getting ready to do all that.
I know. We should have made him clean it up.
And we're live, so just everybody knows this is live.
This is live
Screw
television.
it. We're doing it live.
This
Hey, you
is
know
a
what
live
though?
broadcast.
It's all good. You know,
It happens.
that one's on me.
Yeah. E1.
If you're ever in a restaurant, you hear that loud crashing sound. Yeah, it
Oh,
happens.
yeah.
Don't worry.
You guys ever seen? Why am I saying this to Zach? Have you ever seen the new Starsky and Hutch, Brad?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
So Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson are going under Starsky and Hutch. They're going undercover, and they are at the foundation now. They're going to make the big drug bust.
Yeah.
And Vince Vaughn's up there going, you want to raise your hand if you've ever made a mistake in your life. Show of hands, and then all you hear is guilty by Ben Stiller in the background. Just don't see him. You just hear guilty. That's me. Guilty. I messed up. Not afraid to admit it. Ollie, I love you.
He's not driving home, right?
No.
So we'll be all right with
Shirts and pants, man. All right, should we try this again?
that. Well, I'll make the crust. Why don't we get into the? We'll get into the pine. Should I? No, you'll make this.
Hey, we don't make the same mistake twice.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. So we're
Never mind.
doing a Chesapeake Bay Breeze in the restaurant. We're going to be using Deep Eddy pineapple. That I've uncorked for you there. So there's no spout. Actually, you know what?
Well, I can do a good eye test. Oh, you don't trust me?
No. It's just better. Why don't you go for a long pour?
How do you
That'll
cut
be
off your
good.
bartender?
Long pour. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing for anyone out there who wants inspiration. You can get better. All right? You can. Watch me.
1,000, 1,000. Bit of a no long pour.
No long.
No lo-
oh, you
Hey,
want long
listen.
I
pour?
don't know. Let's see.
razor thin margins in hospitality. You can't be
Well,
just pouring.
More so
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do you want?
on the long pour.
Oh, like one of the.
Oh,
Wow.
there you go.
That's on the side. of
Sign
the
me
long
up.
How do you think he learned that?
pour. There you go.
Not from
Many
me.
a bar.
Yeah.
Many a bar I've been in. Give me just a little splash of the curacao, and then I've got a mixture of mango and OJ. So we'll go ahead.
That
and
sounds
dump that in.
amazing.
And then some grenadine here to give it that color.
Hey.
You're not going to be able to keep them away.
He's gonna get it. He's
Let's
could have
go
some
ahead
time. Am I shaking this again?
and shake that one again. Yep, you can do that.
Try this
there.
again. I got, let's work on my bar talk again. Got to work on that.
And Deep Eddy was kind enough to give us these cool pineapple glasses.
Oh, nice.
So,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's cool.
super fancy.
Amazing.
Yep. So, yep. give
So
that
how
a
do you
shake.
do that after? If you're like, hey, it's my fault, my mistake. Hey, that one's on me, and the next round's on me as well.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. No, you apologize. Most people, I would say 95% of people are pretty forgiving when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, you got to put. It's like, okay, let's use it from an analogy that maybe
Let's use an
you would
analogy.
get. You strike out.
Don't
Right?
do that.
Well, I'm just
that's
saying.
too much. That's too close to
you
home.
strike out, right? When you get up again, you don't think about the strikeout. You can't, right? You can't think about it. Or getting hit by a pitch. How about that? You hit by a pitch. If you're going to sit there and think about getting hit by that pitch again, it's going to freak you out. So same thing. You just get back on it. You forget about it. Amnesia, we like to say. You have amnesia, and then you just move on to the next one.
Yeah. Striking out might be that's giving me some PTSD.
Yeah, I was
I know
gonna
it's
say.
been giving a lot of Orioles fans
Oh,
some PTSD as
yeah.
well. But as a player, you're right though. If you're afraid of something and you're telling yourself that you're afraid,
Then you're afraid.
you're not going to be able to do it. Then
No.
you're afraid.
So that's the key. That's the key here.
All right. Am I pouring this?
Pour it. We'll go right into the pineapple.
Ollie, how is the Orange Crush?
It's
I hear Ali hiccuping.
yes. He's there we go.
You know what? I'm just going to place this somewhere else now.
Well, just don't place it where the table.
Is there a table here?
Yeah, there you go. That's learning right there, right? Now,
See?
when you burn something, so they always tell you in the kitchen, never touch anything without touching a little bit of it first to make sure it's hot.
That's
right?
also a pretty drink too.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
yeah. So that's our Chesapeake Bay Breeze with the lemon blueberry crush.
Bring this
I'll,
up.
yeah, I'll make the orange crush. I'll get you boys something to drink here soon.
Ooh,
It's a good one.
this is good side. There you go.
This is which one again?
Okay. Oh
That's
my
the lemon
god.
blueberry.
I saw you put it down, and I
I
got so
almost
scared.
thought he did the same
I
thing.
thought he did the exact same thing. I was like, oh my gosh.
Ooh. Yeah, don't let Ali drink that
Just
one. That one.
lift up,
The
dog,
long
lift up
pour
time.
really did it on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a good shot.
You love our pups, man.
He's
All right, so I'll get this going, right? If you want to jump back in. Yep, you're good here.
So I'm done. Am I?
You're done, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Ollie's a little wobbly. He might be. Just kidding. We did clean it all up here. We're a family run show.
sure likes to have a good time.
Yeah, we like
Look
to
at
have
that
a good
pour.
time.
Look at that long pour.
So according to some
Hey.
more leaks from the
We got leaks.
schedule,
That's right. We got
potential-
leaks. on
Yeah,
the schedule.
potential at least from what people are saying. It looks like Ravens at Chiefs week 4, which means the Ravens would be in the first 4 weeks. From
Why?
what we've seen, at least from the leaks I've seen, it will be at Buffalo, home versus Cleveland. Not sure week 3 at Kansas City.
Why are both of them away? Like we had the
Well, so,
Chiefs have
So Buffalo is because we were home last year in the regular season, and then Kansas City, I don't know why that's away.
So I know with schedules, like each year you play a division,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then also the other part of the schedule is where you finish in your division.
Yeah.
right.
So this year, in the previous years, it was okay. Buffalo won the division, the Ravens won the division, set up to play in Baltimore. On the regular scheduled side, since the Ravens are playing the AFC East this year, right?
Yes.
They're playing the Dolphins as well. They are playing the AFC East, right, Jack?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it was already scheduled on the AFC East schedule that they had to go to Buffalo.
Right.
So
But I mean, like it seems as if
I would like
we've had-
Kansas City to come to Baltimore.
just
again.
had one home game against Kansas City, I think. Since Lamar, maybe 2. Since Lamar's been in
if
the
we
league.
I guarantee you Cincinnati Baltimore is going to be a primetime game here.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
mark
you,
it
sir.
down.
Thank
I don't care if it's broken yet. Thank you. Yeah. What you?
You know what I've been doing? I actually got some Deep Eddy, just regular straight vodka, not flavored.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
You get some actual pineapple, crush it up, and then you get some jalapeno,
Are you
And
going
crush
out of
that
straw?
a little spicy.
It's for the show.
What?
Do you want to go for out of the straw?
Yes, for first step. He was moving the straw out of the way to say that's how you
Hey, cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Sip and
COs
smile.
are fine.
Ooh, that,
Oh, that's so good.
that breeze is. Woo.
So just like the food, though, let's pace ourselves, Zach. So we'll go.
Yeah, that's probably more important.
I got another couple of crushes for you guys to try, so I'll knock those out.
Where are you making more?
That's the
Oh boy.
We try
Oh.
the orange.
We try the-
lemon blueberry, right?
Yeah.
remember
Yes.
the one that you threw across the room.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's on the floor back.
That
You know that
spiked,
song?
that
You know that
Gronk
song by Lil
spiked?
Jon? You know, to the window,
Oh,
to the floor,
wall.
to the floor. Yeah.
What
that's how
happened
it
after
goes. Glad you know that song. To the window, to the wall. Can't sing the rest of that song.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You could sing the clean version of it.
Till sweat just
Nope.
falls. Sweat
Yep.
continues to fall.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, hey, game 2 did start. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Nose and Twins are facing off
Goes
again.
down 1-0 after a bases loaded infield single by Frazier. Probably should have been honestly just bad fundamentals. It should have been Emmanuel Rivera's ball. He lets Gunnar take it in the hole, and it gets beat out by a step.
Yeah, and here's the
good.
thing, right? With McDermott, it a lot of pressure you feel, but keep in mind it is his first outing and back in the bigs, coming off of an injury. It's a good opportunity for him, but it is a big position to be in. So I hope for me, I just hope he can get.
Oh, just kind of getting thrown in there too. Like,
Yeah, I just hope the one thing I can live with. Hey, you don't walk guys if they beat you around because they give up hits, whatever. But if you can go in there and consistently focus on just trying to go after batters, don't give free passes, and I can live with that. If he gives up 7 runs because it's 7 hits, that's fine. It's the walks for the Orioles pitchers that always seem to be the Achilles heel, and that's the thing that's harder to deal with in general. So we will see what happens, and it's the end of the first inning at this moment in time.
Ramon Laureano strikes out. So
my bad.
we'll,
Apparently, it's a free game of the day.
What happened?
But did you not hear the game going on?
No,
Okay,
I own
good.
my earbud.
Oh, did you hear it?
no.
Okay. Well, maybe nobody heard it. That's good.
All right, so lemon blueberry. Give it a go.
Yep, give it a
Lemon
go.
blueberry.
Hey, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Yep. Like I always remember it.
Those are dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah,
That's something
really
like
good.
you're sitting by on a patio one day.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know what I like with this too? What I think will probably be good, and Kyle will be the judge of this, but like little mint leaf.
A little mint.
Yeah. Probably be good with that too.
That little garnish, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah. Little slap a little mint in there.
Yeah. So
Love
that's
mint.
what you do.
That's what you have to
People do
do.
love mint in their drink.
You slap
I-
them in.
You slap the mint? Is that a phrase?
Yeah. You don't crush the mint when you put it in.
I know, but don't you just drop the mint?
Slap it.
Well, I think to release the what do they call
The aromatics.
Effervescence, the aromatics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I just saw if it is true about the Browns as the season home opener, that would be potentially
Joe Flacco.
Flacco at Baltimore for the first time since 2018.
So regardless of it, that just got to happen.
He's
Yeah.
got to start. I like that it's early in the season, so it's like because if it was later in the season, it could get to the point even if he starts out as the starter, if they just decide halfway through that they want to give it to Shadur or whatever, if they're not playing well, I could see that. It being week 2 makes me feel better about it being between Lamar and Flacco.
Oh, man. Well, we'll continue to see what happens here and how that unfolds. But that would be a really cool sight to see if Joe Flacco made his way back to Baltimore. No doubt about it here. And, guys, it's been a fun show so far, hanging out. Obviously, it changed a little bit for our audience because the Orioles had to move the game for a doubleheader. So we know a lot of people are watching, but we appreciate the ones that are watching with us. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show, we do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and every Wednesday we're cooking here with the Iron Rooster, cooking with Kyle, and also making cocktails with Kyle here. And our first round is with our good sponsor, Deep Eddy Vodka.
Yeah.
Different variations of how you can do it. And what was the name of the breeze again?
Chesapeake Bay Breeze.
Chesapeake Bay Breeze, and you can find that at Iron Roosters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. See, this is what I would talk about. I'd go sit at the bar in Canton, if it's right down the street, or go down to CP in College Park. That's a beautiful bar, by the way, down
Beautiful.
there. I love that one. That is gorgeous. Be able to just relax, enjoy yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And this is the one that I made for you, Zach.
I'm so happy.
Are you going? Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having me today every Wednesday.
Oh,
Love being
incredible.
here. Appreciate it.
Definitely a strong
So-
pour in this one.
Yeah,
like
well, I made three at the same time, so I went a little
Yeah.
heavier.
That might have
Real
been
good.
7.5 seconds in this one right here.
Probably was close.
No, but I
I have no complaints. So you said Curaçao's in this one?
Yeah, so Lion Rum.
I have to try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys a bottle. You can
Okay.
feel free to imbibe. But we, like we said before, we love local. We
Yeah,
love,
oh, yeah.
talking to the local people and Wyndon Distilling. It's his over on the Eastern Shore, and a couple of sisters started that company. I think one of the only rum distillers in the state, and just they're just
Wow.
salt of the earth, down home, Marylanders.
Yeah.
Created a company and do a great job. They got a tasting room there. If you ever get a chance to go out to St. Michael's,
Yep.
where they're located. They do a coffee infused rum with Rise Up.
Okay.
They're really close to the Rise Up guys, and so we use that rum as well in our coffee drinks because Rise Up and
Hell yeah. You already
yeah,
used their
so-
coffee.
Yep. So yeah, it was a great partnership. But today was about Deep Eddy, and we appreciate the team, Dave,
Hey.
Franny.
Keeps the show alive too.
Hey, it's all about the teamwork here, and we care about the community, and we're definitely going to have more things going with community work here. Iron Rooster is all about the local production, helping the communities, because, look, people helping people is what it's all about. At the end of the day, the surrounding groups and the people that you are with, if they are in a better situation, it's better for everybody involved. So we appreciate all of the groups here. We appreciate Kyle, for you taking the time out of your day to deal with us, to deal with
My pleasure.
not my best bartending.
It's my pleasure too. I mean, the food.
This has
That's
been
my
fun.
pleasure too. Food's phenomenal.
Yeah, we did birria today. We did
Birria
Birria.
tacos. So what could we have on docket for next week? Do we have any early possibilities? We're gonna have to wait and see.
I'm kind of a last minute dude when it comes to stuff like this. So I usually let the week kind of talk to me.
Let them marinate.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Do you have any new or maybe some experimental roost tarts down the pipeline?
Yeah, so definitely have some ones that are coming down the pipeline. Annapolis was working on Fruity Pebbles. We did a Fruity Pebbles roost
All right.
down in Annapolis. We started salted caramel and candy bacon as well, which is a really good one. And I'm always looking for some cool flavors. So happy if anyone in the chat watching now has some ideas. Keep them PG, possible. But no, we're always looking for good flavors. The staples really are the ones that sell the most. Mixed berry and brown sugar are the two roost tarts that really everybody loves.
Yep.
So, and of course the strawberry,
Yeah, somebody likes a strawberry cheesecake when it's
which means that it's on the menu full time. It's always
just got to
there.
ask
Just for
it.
one person.
Yeah.
You just got to ask for it.
It's actually one of the I didn't. Of course, I would leave it on for said person, but it is it's a popular one. People really love strawberry cheesecake roost tarts. So he was on to something there for sure. But yeah, no, we'll keep that one, and then we'd like to rotate as the seasons go on. So this summer we'll definitely bring in orange and lemon, blueberry, peach is a big one that we like to run in the summer.
Okay.
Just things that kind of are refreshing.
Or you
But-
could do like a lemon blueberry.
Yep, lemon blueberry
Together.
is one. Cherry, as we get into like 4th of July.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter, big cherry guy. In fact,
Big cherry
I
guy.
delivered him when he was with the Mets. I don't know, probably 15 cherry roost tarts. Our friend Kristen
Damn.
Hudak
Yep.
said Buck loves cherry. I said great. I'll have cherry roost tarts for him, and he loved them. So yeah, we're always looking for great flavors though, for sure.
You always are able to go with the flow and be able to pick it up just like that.
Kyle's a good
Appreciate
kid.
Yeah, you are a good kid. I appreciate that. And you know what, Zach, I know you appreciate all the goodness today, but you still have a deed that needs to be done. What's our voting looking like, and what is the winner, Brad?
The clear winner is the plank, Zach.
Plank.
36%.
Ooh.
Beat out mountain climbers to 30%.
So
Shoulder press was in the lead there for a while.
So what that means,
What does that mean?
Tell us what it means.
Zach is going to have to do the plank. So Zach,
He's
you understand?
warming up there. He's getting the blood flowing there.
Do you understand what that entails? So minute 45 on one side, 45 on the other. Oh no, yeah, I'll time it. We can time it. No. I'm a man of honor. I got the timer right here. No? Oh, Mr. Puppy, yeah. This would be good for you. Good stretch. Ready? 3, 2, 1, plank. This is brought to you guys by our friends over at Merit Clubs, meritclubs.com. Once again, got the link right here for you guys. And on the ticker right there, 2 weeks free on us right then and there. Ollie, come here. He's got to focus. He's still got.
This is
So you're going to start 45 seconds and then go back to the minute? Okay.
This is totally going on in social media.
Good
This
scratch.
is an IG moment right here. Oh yeah, look at him. Oh,
Look at the
he's so
encouragement.
cute. He's so cute. Look at him.
He's adorable. He's just like his father. Just adorable. Me
Yeah.
and him. Yeah. You can switch to the other side now.
Look, he's had enough.
You got it's good. Just we're having a good time. We're gonna break down and end the show with the Fernando Tatis home run because that was a good point that you brought up. You got 15 more seconds on that side here before we go a minute straight to close out your day. But it has been a good day. Someone's got to pay the deed. Someone's got to pay the price. Zach lost once again in the Papa shot. And we'll actually share that with our Holy Shirts and Pants members. It was pretty miserable performance. Kevin beat Zach. That's how tough it was.
Damn.
All right. Final minute. Done.
Really bad. I'm not gonna lie. That was horrible.
Kevin beat him in the 30 seconds.
Wow.
It was tough. It's almost like that guy that qualified for the national Papa shot.
Oh yeah, I missed everything. 26.
Yeah. It's almost
Listen,
like that.
it's crazy how easy it is to get on a roll, and then also how easy it is to just get out of it.
Just
and then
like
all of a
that.
sudden you're missing everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Ocho, is that ESPN Ocho?
Oh yeah, the
19
Ocho.
seconds.
Yeah.
Have you
19?
seen that stairs where they do the racing up the stairs? They
The
grease
Ocho
these
has
stairs.
yeah.
10 seconds.
It's the greatest. It should be an Olympic event.
That's like have you seen
Five,
the what is
four.
that roof ball?
3,
no.
Oh
Two.
my god.
1. And he's done. There he is.
So,
Give him a round of applause.
The roof well done, Zach. Shout out Merritt. So the roof ball, you throw a football on a roof and see how many times it flips.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then they have like extreme puzzle building. I mean, there's so many crazy things.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. It always happens like after I get done watching Formula
Make sure to
One.
hydrate after you work out.
After I get done watching Formula One, yeah. Hydrate before you dehydrate.
Hi.
And there's always like this crazy stuff that comes on after
Yeah.
Formula One. Wow.
Man.
There's a race on this weekend, by the way. Also, I was thinking about this. Zach Brown, who's the CEO, quote unquote, principal of McLaren F1, he's been making quite the American tour. He's the only American in Formula One as far as like CEOs are concerned. There's no American drivers either. But McLaren is in the lead for like the championship.
Dang.
I feel like we could probably try to get him. Feel like we should attempt to get Zach Brown.
I'm in.
So tell Ryan Shell that we need to get Zach Brown. He's been making a tour with a lot of American, platforms like this. He was on Ryan Clark's podcast for crying.
So
out
let's
loud.
get him.
Ryan Clark can get him. We can get him.
What do you think, Ollie?
I'd be so down. His story is incredible. He actually got into racing because he won on the youth Wheel of Fortune. He used his winnings to buy a go-kart, and it was over after that. I mean, what kind of story is that? That's crazy. Am I talking to myself?
Yep.
Okay.
F1, I'm gonna be honest. That's when I started.
I'm interested in the F1 conversations.
I'm telling you, it is getting so big. We're missing out.
I'm in on it. I'm in. I just don't know. I can't speak on it like I can with some of the other sports.
But you can appreciate
Oh, of course I can appreciate it.
winning a Wheel of Fortune, then using those winnings to buy yourself a go-kart, and then using that as a springboard to get you to Formula
it's
One.
incredible.
It's a crazy story.
It's an amazing story.
Crazy.
So is that what we're doing? If that happens for us,
I'm asking him about it for sure.
No, I'm saying, is that what we do then? Like, if you get money, you're going to go kart to Formula One.
Well, maybe the boy. I'll throw him in a go-kart.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Makes sense. And Laura hears you.
Yeah, Lars, my Formula One.
We are all about it here.
And Nick, British Raven, Nick.
Yes, he is. Hey, before we get on out of here, let's talk about this home run real quick from last night, if that's okay.
Sure.
On the side view, because it's Zach, you brought it up because you mentioned that this is a go-ahead home run.
1 ball, 2 strike count.
Oh, that's Sam Basai. Oh, man, we didn't even get a chance to talk about Sam.
Well, we can talk about that too.
So this home run. So you can see early. Look how quick early he's already down. So big leg kick for Tatis. Ball's not even there. And he was way down out in front, and he still hits a massive
double clutch,
massive home run. And the reason why we're showing you this is because it's a great example of being able to keep your weight back even if your timing's off.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull up the side angle here, and that was a mammoth shot. This is really
side
cool.
angle is.
So you guys can understand here, when we always talk about keeping your weight back, doesn't mean that you have to have perfect timing, because your timing can be off going to get to the baseball, right, Brad? So that makes sense. So right here, and if you can, so I can can you flip the camera to me so I can just explain for a second? So when you're going to see right here, okay, is that all of his momentum, let me move these real quickly so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here. So when you're seeing the momentum and he's going, okay, I'm getting ready. So leg kicks, it's all about timing. Everything's about timing with the leg kick, right? So you put it up and you're trying to time.
That was
the
a big
delivery.
thing with Jackson Holiday last year. Is people
We're
said
getting on him.
he couldn't time the leg kick, and that was an issue with the fastball.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, with the leg kick, you just got to be comfortable with doing it. Bo Bichette's done that in the past. A lot of great hitters have a leg kick. David Ortiz had one. The thing is, if you have the leg kick, you got to be a little bit more consistent with it. But if you're early, it's okay as long as you keep your backside available. So, like, here's the instance here. Fernando Tatis Jr., he's already landing, but look how he lands.
Nope.
He's down right there. Is he forward?
Nope.
Or is he right here? Right?
Yeah.
So that's a difference when you have a big leg kicking with Jackson, is that when he was trying to time it, things were either going too late and he was trying to catch up and pulling off the baseball, or you were getting too out in front. And when you're too out in front and you feel like you can't stay back, that's where you get in trouble. But Fernando Tatis Jr. is so early, Zach, but he's in such a good position to hit there. He can double flinch and still hit a ball 400 feet because his body's staying back. We understand now what I'm saying with staying back. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So right there, that is unbelievable for Fernando Tatis Jr. See ya. Padres, big moment for them. Obviously having a great start to the season. I like to believe Fernando Tatis Jr. is a huge reason, but I think the main reason is Gavin Sheets.
And Manny Machado.
And Gavin Sheets, friend of the show, friend of the
Manny
program.
Machado,
here.
by the way, probably the only guy that has any shot at getting 3,000 hits, maybe in this decade.
Freddie Freeman too, though.
No, I don't think he's going to do it.
You don't think Freddie?
Only because he's older than Manny.
I mean, I think Freddie's going to chase it.
Freddie's what, 35? 36?
Yeah, and he's got what 2308 current.
Not going to happen.
He's 35 right now.
4 more, so you'd have to go 5 more years probably.
If he finishes this year with over 2,400 hits, so he's 92 more the rest of the season, he would need to average 200 for the next 3 years if he were to do that.
I don't know if that's possible.
But it depends on how long he plays. If he's a guy that plays until he's 41 and he just has to average 120 hits,
Yeah, maybe.
then,
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is that his is just going to be, if he truly wants 3,000 and he's cool with playing 6-7 more years to get that, he can get it.
And I mean, if we're saying right now, could he? If he's not slowing down at all, he's in
I would say,
366.
stay on this pace. He's what?
Yeah, and he has to stay healthy.
And he's got
At
40,
35.
of course. He's got 41 hits already on the season through 40 games, a quarter of the way. So you're looking at maybe 160 on the year, 120 total, 120 more total. So he'll be at 24, 28 if he stays on that pace.
Yeah.
So under 600 hits over 3 years, they tell me there's a chance for good old Freddie Freeman. And honestly, Freddie Freeman, one of the best pure hitters in the game. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, without question. This is like, I mean, I want to have a deeper conversation about this, but I do think that Manny gets 3,000. I don't. After Manny, though, the likelihood of anybody else getting 3,000, who's current player right now,
It's diminished quite a bit.
very, very low.
Well, and the value of getting a hit is not the same as it's been valued at before. It was getting on base no matter what.
Yeah.
Hitting the baseball. Well, now it's, if you're going to get on base, walk or hit a jack.
I went down a huge rabbit hole. Like whenever we have our veteran guys that we talk to, no, we were just talking about having some other guys on. We won't release their names just yet, but would love to get the older generation's perspective on, like, there will never be another 300 win pitcher. More than likely.
No. Well, and also just seeing what the records of guys throwing 200 plus innings consecutively,
That's what I'm saying.
20 plus game winners, all of these, what used to be a staple or a normalcy on a regular season basis, we're not seeing it. Take the milestone down the road.
I mean, is that good for baseball or bad for baseball? I don't know. Like, what becomes the new 3,000 hit club at that point?
And I'd even argue, though, too, that the home run records aren't going to be
touched
because guys aren't just playing.
Here's
as
another
long.
guy. Could Jose Altuve do it? He's at 22.73.
He's 35.
It's the same thing as with Freddie.
If they play until 40.
Yeah, if they play another 5-6 years, I think that those two are just longevity.
It's the maintaining the pace.
Yeah, they have to just go. But there's nobody else on this list. I mean, Manny. Yeah, I think Manny's got a chance. Goldschmidt, no, he's 37. He needs 900 more. McCutchen, 38, needs 900.
He's not getting
800
He's
more.
not. Yeah, McCutchen's not getting.
Yeah,
and I love McCutchen.
Sad reality. It's a harsh reality. Game's changing.
I was just looking at like the top 20 last night of like hitters of all time because the Pete Rose and everything just got my wheels turning. I think Calvin's at 15 all time. I think Jeter's at 9 or 8, 8 or 9 all time. And then it just got me thinking, it's like, does this ever happen again? I don't.
I mean, to get to 3,000 hits, you have to play for a long period of time. You have to. I don't even care.
You have to be good.
You have to be good for that long and get the opportunities. That's why, like, Ichiro to me is one of the best hitters ever.
Yeah.
Because if he had been in America for longer, he might have broken the single
Pete Rose,
MLB Pete Rose's record. He might have. But he still accomplished so much as a hitter in the short amount of time that he was there.
Current guy that'll hit 1,000. Juan Soto's at 974 at age 26.
That could be one.
I could see
at 974.
He's at 974 at age 26, though.
So he's been in the bigs for 7 years.
Yeah. So he'd need to play another 14, I guess.
You have to push 20 years right now if he's
40.
on that pace.
Yeah.
So it's
that's with,
and that's but that's context right there.
Yeah, because that's with how many games
he's 26.
You know what also was mind blowing me about some of these stats? You look at Pete Rose's stats, for example. He had 4,200 hits all time, 160 jacks. It's just like he just really good at poking the ball out there.
I want to make. You don't have to be a home run hitter to be a great hitter. I want that statement to be great again. Like being a great hitter is more than just being able to how many times you can leave the ballpark.
On the same token, Eddie Murray for 500 home runs, over 3,000 hits. He could do both.
Yeah. And like there's only a handful of guys there. And I know with people, and this is the one thing I'll defend Calvin here and Junior. People were saying the average drop. He played as long as he could. And he got those numbers. But yet, like you said, Brad, you got to be able to play that long to get there. And there's only a handful of guys can say that they had 3,000 hits, 400 home runs, and even a fewer amount that can say they had 400 and 3,000. And then Eddie's case, 500 and 3,000. And I think those right there, I don't know if we're going to see that. I don't know if we're going to see another 500, 3,000.
I don't think so either.
Not in the time being for the moment. We're going to see 500 home runs, 600 home runs, 3,000 hits.
I think the most recent one we saw was Alex Rodriguez. He had 600, 3,000.
Yeah. So I think Mike Trout would have been an interesting case if he didn't get hurt.
Me too.
But we're never going to find that out at this point in time because
there's only 32 players all time.
Mike Trout can still hit 500 home runs. He would have to, unfortunately, just stay.
But 3,000 hits are not going to happen.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the active home run leaders now because Trout. The thing is just injuries with Trout. Trout's only 33 with, including all the injuries he's had over the years, at 387 home runs. I mean, 110 home runs. Technically, if he played till he's 38, 5 more years, he hits 23 a year. He gets there, but I don't know if he can
get there.
Yeah, stay healthy to hit 23 a year.
It's hard, man. And this thing, baseball is a marathon of a stretch. And nowadays, analytics too, where they're saying we don't want to burn a guy for a 162 game season too.
Yeah.
That's not the player choice. Most teams, that's the team saying, hey, we want to save them for a few games. You're going to play less and less.
Yeah.
And then the shifts of focus as a hitter have changed.
That's why, Calvin's record will never be touched either.
No, I don't think that one's ever going to be touched. You have to play 15 straight years
without sitting.
The money's different too, right? There's no incentive
No.
at this point.
Well, they're paying, and they even say we'll pay for a guy to play 140 games.
But back in the day, the money wasn't the incentive. It was just
But you had to play.
Yeah, you had to play, and also because they weren't getting paid the big contracts back then, and also you didn't want to give someone another chance. So that was the case with a lot of players. Like the story you've heard about Wally Pipp, Zach?
Yeah.
So Wally Pipp was the first baseman for the New York Yankees.
Yep.
The very famous story there. Wally decided to take a day off, and his backup came into play. His backup then proceeded to have a game and never looked back, and that backup's name was Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
And Lou Gehrig played for 2,130 consecutive games, went down as one of the best first basemen to ever play the game. You know, my dad's mentality was he wanted to help the team, number one. He thought he was still the best guy even when he wasn't at his best. And then the other part of it was I don't want to give anybody another chance. If I'm able to go, I'm going to go. Craig Biggio, who we just had in the interview, we'll have more from his interview tomorrow. Craig it felt like a responsibility. I'm out there. I'm going to play my ass off. I'm going to give it all that I have. But also, I don't want somebody else to go in there and prove that they could be better than me.
Yeah.
And that's where it's changed a lot, where teams have made up decisions on guys where they have rosters set and they know they're going to give off days. It's just a little bit different of how it's going to be. So,
yeah.
You know, and there's so many discussions we can have to what guys do, how teams are.
These are like really great discussions to have with some of our legends that we have.
We should. We have more people upcoming here, but guys, I think
that'll do it.
I think we're good for the day.
Good day today.
Good day today. Did you hit the music? Not yet.
Not yet. No.
Anything else? Well, actually, let me talk about who we have tomorrow.
Tell me.
You didn't hit the music, right?
Nope.
No.
So tomorrow, maybe we'll have a wild Nick Moore sighting. Talk a little bit about the NFL schedule. But then how about we go to one of the legendary managers that we've had in the last couple decades here. And now he's currently brought in as the bench coach for the Colorado Rockies. Clint Hurdle's going to join us tomorrow around 4 p.m. And he's got a new book, which is really, I think, fantastic. And he has sayings called Hurdle-isms, just like we know how Buck Showalter has his sayings.
Oh, yeah.
Clint Hurdle has his, well-known for managing the Rockies, the Pirates. And I'm really excited to talk to him because he has a great perspective, been around a lot of great players. He's also had to deal with a whole hell of a lot of adversity here throughout his career, his life, and everything in between. And then maybe we'll have another guest in there, but I can't splurge on that just yet. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, cue the music. As always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great Wednesday. Hopefully the Birds don't get swept. We know what we appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate the Iron Rooster and Kyle for cooking with us. We will see you guys tomorrow for a brand new episode.